All right, we are live. Kobe's Corner live stream. Mystic Mitch is in the house. He's the only one watching. I appreciate you so much, brother. What's going on? Everybody rock your body. Is that a Backstreet Boys track? I don't know. I kind of remember that song from my youth. I might have sung it drunk at the bar one night. I'm not too sure. But I'm hoping we get a crowd so we can just chat and hang out, have some fun. Nothing too serious. Some MMA talk. Right now we have 0 watching, so not too surprised. I have the MMA Junkie stream up and ready to rock if we can get some people in here. Hang out and chit chat. Mystic Mitch, what's going on, brother? How are you? Are you still there, my friend? Mystic Mitch, you're the only one with me, buddy. Please tell me you're still here. We got one watching, baby. It's going to be like 100,000 people on this live stream in about 5 minutes. So if you're rolling in, there he is, baby. That was the last song on T-Man's stream. How does he get to do that? Like, there's no copyright stuff that goes on? I'm glad, of course. I know it's a lot of older songs that he plays, but I always wonder, because you see people getting dinged for playing music on YouTube all the time. So it's kind of cool that he's able to do it, because it would just ruin his whole thing if he couldn't. So I'm wondering how. Justice, how are you, beautiful? It's great to see you. My chair's broken, so if you see it falling, me picking it up. I'm too poor to buy a new one. I'm sitting here tonight watching all of these idiots get rich and famous on YouTube, and then I started to think that maybe they're not idiots. Maybe they just know exactly what to do to get rich and famous on YouTube. And maybe the formula is not talent. Maybe it doesn't come off the bootstraps of being educated and smart and talented. Maybe you just got to be a complete idiot. Justice says sometimes his streams get blocked. Well, that's too bad, because T-Man's awesome and I love what he does. I was checking out KSI, Joe Weller. Marcus Dibble's really creative. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He does call-out videos. He's only got 500,000 subs. Obviously, that's a lot, but not in the millions like some of these guys. And then, of course, this little Zan guy, which I just discovered him tonight. He said Tupac's music was boring, so now everybody's blowing up on him. But if you listen to the whole interview right after, he says that he loves Beethoven, but they cut that part out. They edited it. So it just came across that he, as a, like, one of these Zanny Bar young dreadlock rapper mumble dudes, although he is kind of creative and talented in his own right, like, he dissed Tupac, so that's why, like, the media's the kind of like, he's angry at the media, says he doesn't want to do any more interviews, but he's like, boom, millions. He's got 136 million views on this dumb rap video where he's singing about Xanax. It's insane to me. Brother Darth, what up, doe? Mystic Mitch says, yeah, he's an Aussie. Marcus Dibble's hilarious. His Brian Silva call out is awesome. Cassidy Boone is awesome. He says, were we talking about Tupac, West Side Riders in this bitch? So Darth, Little Zan or Zanny or whatever his name is, that kid with the face tats, he said that Tupac is boring. But right after, he said that he likes Beethoven. So that was just his opinion about Tupac, which I don't agree with at all. Like, I'm not down with that opinion, but it's his. And anyway, the media just cut that little part out. So now he's like under heavy fire from the hip hop community. But he's one of these kids that started doing music on SoundCloud and, you know, making their own beats or whatever else. And with hip hop, it's like the ticket, like, it ain't hard anymore. You just got to have a look and a certain vibe. You got to be about Xanax and face tats and grills, and then, I don't know, you're rich and famous. It's crazy, man. It's crazy what works out here. I've been paying really close attention and trying to focus, but at the same time not get angry at who's successful. Dar says, I don't identify with any of that bullshit my generation likes. I apologize on behalf of those millennials. I know, buddy. I know. I hear you. But it's working. It's working, man. Look at KSI. Look at Joe Wheeler. Look at Logan Paul and his brother. Like, these people are act like idiots. But millions of people watch and throw money at them, and they're millionaires. It's crazy. Mystic Mitch says, do you like hip hop? Yeah, for sure. I'm 39 years old, so I came from a different generation too, and it kind of left me after like Eminem's heyday, 50, Dre. I liked all that stuff, like the early 2000s. 2007, 2008 was still a great year for hip hop, I believe. Jay-Z was still doing some good stuff. There was all kinds of good music back then. Like, even like, I forget the year that Love in the Club came out, but Jeezy's awesome. There's so many great, talented hip hop musicians. And then like J. Cole I liked him at first, and Dizzy Wright, I think he's straight, but I don't know. I'm 39, and I just kind of stopped listening to music. I started listening to sports radio, and you know what I mean? I'm just getting older, but yeah, I love rap. I love like a lot of different types of music, but I don't really get to listen to a lot anymore. He says, I recommended Bliss and Esso. I'm always down for recommendations. Like, I'll always check stuff out. I'm just kind of paying attention to what everybody likes right now, and what is popular, and what's working, and what's making money. Because like I said, it doesn't seem like talent is the formula. Like, I can sit here and try to be this talented analyst, but like, how far is that going to get me, man? Like, I don't even have 2,000 subscribers. You know, I did a video yesterday on Mike Perry's girlfriend, and you know, her response to the breakup and all that stuff. It's got like over 200 views, which again isn't a lot, but I interviewed a ranked UFC fighter the week before, like a phenomenal interview, and it's got 46 views. It's like, man, it's just like, it's becoming really frustrating and confusing. Mystic Mitch, the Jay-Z Black album is for sure one of my favorite rap albums, and hands down top 5, hands down. Dart says, even though I'm from LA, Gangstar is my favorite hip hop, and DJ Premier is my favorite DJ. Gangstar is really wicked, man. Yeah, that's some real music right there. And that wasn't even mainstream, like super popular, but really, really good stuff for sure. So yeah, I've just been checking out YouTube, and it's just, man, it just blows my mind. I'm thinking about doing a new interview format where I bring on UFC fighters, but I don't talk about MMA. I don't talk about UFC. I just ask them outlandish, crazy stuff about their past and growing up and being a teenager and street fights and partying and girls or guys, and just ask them like the craziest stuff, and try to have like, you know, like a sex, drug, rock and roll, unfiltered kind of interview where it's like fun and you know, hilarious, but not serious. And like I said, for once, not talk about MMA, not talk about UFC, not talk about rounds 2 or 3 and what happened, you know, here on the floor with the grappling and all this. Like, I do like doing that, but people just, like, there's not enough of a core audience for me because I'm just not big enough. So that's like somewhere something I might end up doing. You need to dab and nay more. I was thinking about these. I seen these kids doing this. What up, man? I seen these kids doing this floss dance. Like, I'm not even gonna try it. It's so ridiculous. And I was thinking about doing a video where I'm like doing the floss, and I'm like, hey man, I know I'm trying to get famous on YouTube, but it seems that talent isn't working. And then be like, catch me outside, how about that? While I'm doing the floss, and then like shut the video down. It's like so stupid, but like these are things that got people like on the map, recognized worldwide. What up, Chris? So like, I don't know, I'm just playing around with all these crazy ideas to find something else that works. Maybe it's another channel, maybe it's this channel. I did some video breakdowns with like UFC footage that's already on YouTube, not monetizing. I tried that. Like, it came out great. Like, the content's awesome. But again, I don't know. The views aren't there. And you beautiful soul. It's great to have you all. 6 is better than 0. I burned myself. I lost my stream. And I had a decent little crew showing up, and I blew it. So now I'm starting from scratch with the live stream. So thank you so much. Mystic Mitch thinks that will be funny. There's a lot of dumb stuff going through my head right now that I think might work. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Trying to be like a serious analyst, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work for me. I don't know. There's so many snakes in this community. It's so bad. That's why I love the MMA holes so much. And I just play with one team. You guys. And Justice, shout out to her. She's been a great addition. She's a super supporter. She's a super supporter for all sides. And you are awesome. So yeah, like, even if you want to throw out your own ideas, go for it. Like, we don't even got to talk about MMA tonight. We can just talk about anything. And describe to me your first kiss. Where were you? And what was it like? And I'm going to read your answer. Justice says, do it in all serious times. Or dilly times, you got this. Yeah, I'm still going to do, like, the serious stuff. And I'm still going to do the analysis and breakdown. It's only dumb stuff that goes through minds. The world is, like, numb and watered down to the equivalent of shock value. Like, when you look at what trends and what goes viral, it's all shock value. It's all stuff that's off the wall. And we just ingest it. We crave it. Everybody. Anne's first kiss. I want to know all about it. I want details, Anne. She said she can't remember. I don't believe you, Anne. Tell me about it. What up, T-Man? My first Blumpkin was in the summer of '87. Oh, Justice, have you ever had a Cleveland steamer? And if not, can I be the first to give you a Cleveland steamer? I know Chris loves that question, if he's still here. Not being disrespectful, I'm just playing around. Justice is my homegirl. See that picture right there? See her profile pic? Yeah, baby. T-Man, you're not late, buddy. You're just in time. Things opened a little slow, but they're picking up now. Mystic Mitch was in here first, so shout out to him. And now T-Man's here, so the party's really started. I don't got the music like T-Man, but I got the stream going right now. And then you got the MMA holes, then you got Jesse Bell Hill. I hope nothing's buffering because the stream health has an orange bar, but I plugged in my USB, so that should work. T-Man says I never had my first kiss. I think, T-Man, Jesse Bell Hill is going to take care of that for you. She should. T-Man, I offered to get you Jimmy Rivera, and you're like, Jimmy Rivera's not good enough. I want a diva. The hell, man? I'm just playing, brother. So do you guys want to talk some MMA or do you just want to shoot the shit? You can swear. I have no AdSense here. There's no rules. Some of your stuff will get blocked in the chat, but I'm not gonna hide any of it. As long as it doesn't get too out of control. Dart says, T-Man practiced on my hand for years preparing for the moment. Like this? Is that where you learn to practice? So Dart, do you like the whole Obi-Wan Kobe thing? If I get a cool intro with some thunder and lightning and I get a lightsaber and I wear some glasses? Yes, if Jesse is really cool, she'll kiss him. Maybe, just maybe, T-Man will win the panty contest. T-Man, have you entered to win Jesse's panties? If not, maybe Justice will send a pair. Or you can have an autographed pair of Kobe's boxers. Which would you prefer? Ann says in the back seat. Here we go. Now we're getting the truth. Ann's coming clean. She says, in the back seat of my boyfriend's parents' car at the drive-in, I was 13. That was my real first kiss. Thank you for sharing, Ann. What a memory. What a story. Dart says, Obi-Wan Kobe is sweet. I love it. Yeah, I just got to build like an intro and an outro and try to like frame like the theme around it. Got to do something, man. I'm not making nothing. There's nothing for Kobe. There's no money. Ann says, hello, T-Man. I want to start generating and building a base audience again and try to make some money. Dar says, T-Man, I'll send you my old jock strap from football. Come on, man. You picking on T-Man? Shout out to Kobe for helping me get a guest. Well, we're going to work on it, T-Man. We need Chris because he's really good technically. And I think if he's there, it will help things go smoothly. I'll be your voice. And if you want to try to get someone else, you can. But, T-Man, I'm going to give you some, not advice, but maybe a suggestion. Tweeting on, like, people on Twitter and asking is probably not going to do it. What I would do if I was you is I would go to, like, the WWE website, and I would look for a contact section, and I would tell them your story. I would send a picture, and I would say, listen, I have a YouTube channel. I really want a guest. I want to have on a WWE diva or wrestler. And I think that would be a better course of action for you rather than doing the Twitter thing. But do your thing, brother. T-Man says, first off, Darth, you can piss off. Darth says, T-Man, that's fair. I'm just playing, brother. We're just having some fun tonight. My chair continues to break. Justice says, what day in April will you be unblocked? I don't know the exact date. I'm still trying to email the UFC to ask them to unhitch it and just take the strike off. It was so ridiculous. I was in my friend's room in his bed watching the fights on my phone, so I didn't even have this set up. And everybody, of course, was like, show the fight, show the fight. So in a moment of weakness, I just turned the phone around, and in 10 seconds, someone reported me. So, boom, live stream gone. That's why when I tell you there's complete snakes out here. So, yeah, that's what happened. And it sucked. All right. Let's pull up some MMA news. Let's see what's good. Oh, this is something that just popped off. Cynthia Chavello suspended 6 months by USADA after testing positive for marijuana at UFC 219. Suspension can be reduced to 3 months if she completes USADA-approved drug awareness program. Put some respect on my name. Forgot to move that picture. So this is a bit ridiculous, right? Like, this stuff's on the brink of being legal. It's legal in multiple places. Like, come on, man. When are they going to give it up with that? All right. Let's go to Junkie. Let's go to MMA Junkie. Curtis Blades gets home fight versus Overeem at UFC 225. This should be a fun fight. Overeem is shot. This guy has been knocked out so many times. I think Curtis Blades is going to win this fight. See if we can get any other information on it. So, Curtis Blades wants big fights and a bigger contract. He's got the former for sure. The promotion announced today Blades will meet multi-promotion champ Alistair Overeem, 43-16, 8-5 in the UFC at UFC 225, which takes place June 9th at United Center in Chicago. Although the official bout has not been announced, it's near certain the two will meet on the pay-per-view main card following prelims on FS1 and UFC Fight Pass. Blades was last seen in the octagon this past month, so this guy's fighting a lot, man. UFC 221, where he earned the biggest win of his career to date with a unanimous decision over veteran slugger Mark Hunt. It was his fourth win in 5 appearances. Prior to the fight with Hunt, Blades revealed to MMA Junkie his next bout would serve as his final obligation to the UFC under his current contract. He signals his interest in a raise and didn't rule out the possibility of entertaining an offer from Bellator. So there you go. Curtis Blades, finally back home. Thanks for the fight. Much respect. Opportunity to show my skills on the big stage to my fans old and new. I appreciate the sport. Excited about the future. Chicago, who's next? So that should be a fun fight. I don't know if Blades has the star power to warrant big money, but the heavyweight division is not very deep, and I do like Curtis Blades, that's for sure. Come on, man. This stupid... Okay, here we go. So Cynthia Chavelos accepts 6 months suspension for marijuana. Well, it's USADA, so you don't really get a choice. Not going to open that. In the blue corner, Hector Lombard has a very good reason he no longer gambles at the casino. This looks interesting. Let's look at what cheap shotter Hector Lombard has to say about why he's not going to the casino. This is a video. I'm just going to need to pause this. Even when in Las Vegas, Hector Lombard is no longer a gambler, as he learned a tough and expensive lesson to get him... Oh boy, this is going to be good. To the point... Sorry, lesson to get him to that point. While in Sin City, where he suffered a disqualification loss to CB Holloway Saturday at UFC 22, Lombard stopped by MMA Junkie Radio to discuss his controversial finish. Cheap shot. While in studio, the veteran middleweight explained while he will no longer hit the blackjack tables, feed the slot machines, or his previous favorites roll the dice while in the casinos. I have a story. The 40-year-old Cuban-Australian began his cautionary tale, and that was the last time I gambled. A decade ago, the Pride fighter signed a deal with Bellator, then an upstart promotion. Bellator inked Lombard, who sported a stellar 18-2-1 record and eventually became the organization's middleweight champ to a hefty contract. But he also admitted he was younger and a bit dumber. So this is not a news story. This wasn't like karma from cheap shotting CB Holloway. You probably know where this is going. When I signed with Bellator, they gave me a huge bonus. They gave me about 45 G's right away, and then they gave me the rest of the money after I signed. But the first 45, I came to Vegas, and I gambled, and I got drunk, and I gambled all that money away. Excuse me. All of it. $4,500. 45,000. Pardon me. 45 G's. And I was throwing the dice. All the money, he said. Now I don't gamble anymore. Thankfully, the 62 G's he earned at UFC 222 appear safe. Hector Lombard got a little bit of an addictive personality. That's a lot of money to piss away. But hey, it's his money. Conor McGregor is back and looking to sell you a chicken sandwich. This was really, really corny, this commercial, but whatever. I'm sitting here complaining about not getting paid. This guy probably got millions of dollars to do this ridiculous commercial. There are two kings in this picture, only one in the fight game. Forget the rest. Big news on the way. Instead, the current UFC lightweight champ, not for long until UFC 223 anyway, where he will be stripped of the title once Tony Ferguson and Khabib step in the cage. Crazy, eh? They're giving him until someone throws a punch. Like, to the last second, he gets a chance to say, okay, I'll do some sort of fight. Is looking to sell you spicy chicken sandwiches from Burger King, and he's really fired up. McGregor has added Burger King to his promotional portfolio, and the company today released a commercial starring the fiery Irishman. Here's how Burger King officials describe it. Conor McGregor, the King, a private jet, and all the new spicy crispy chicken sandwich from Burger King. The all-new spicy crispy chicken sandwich from Burger King. A recipe that's sure to bring the heat. Yeah, it was pretty cringe. I had a hard time watching it, but again, like, how many millions of dollars did the guy get for doing it? So I'd probably do it too. What else do we got here? This looks interesting because there's been a lot of talk lately about Cyborg. I think she's the female GOAT. A lot of people disagree, and that's okay. It's one of those conversations that, again, is just really purely opinion. So she is fresh off the bootstraps of battering Yana Kanitsakaya. There's so many videos popping up. This is crazy. She did survive a bit of a backpack. It was nice to see her get up from the takedown stuff, the jiu-jitsu. Like, that stuff was all awesome. And it showed the technical side to her game. She's not just a striker. Kanitsakaya said prior to UFC 222, which took place this past Saturday at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, that Cyborg lacked one true one-punch knockout power. Well, she found out the hard way. And instead overwhelms opponents with volume for TKO finishes. Yes and no. I mean, if she hits you with 5 or 6, that's just because they're coming so fast. You don't get just one. You're lucky if Cyborg hits you with just one. There may be a degree of truth to that statement, but it mattered little. Cyborg ended up winning via first round TKO for her 20th straight win, 17th stoppage victory. Let's get down to the Nunes part. Cyborg can punch, Perillo told Junkie. For this girl to even think for a second she doesn't have power, she might have thought because her training partner Holly Holm was able to get 5 rounds through 5 rounds with her. I think Holly Holm put every inch of her heart into that fight and all of her boxing experience. 36 boxing fights and all the experience that she has. She was able to roll with the punches a little bit more. But I think Yana read into that a little wrong. Chris went out there, touched her with that right hand, and let her know she can crack. Excuse me, Jason Perillo is bang on the money there. 100% correct. Holly Holm is the most accomplished stand-up fighter in female mixed martial arts on paper, probably even more so than Cyborg. So the fact that Holly Holm went 5 rounds doesn't say, well, you know, Cyborg didn't finish her, so it wasn't that impressive. It's the glass half full. Cyborg went 25 minutes, didn't gas, and took Holly Holm out behind the old woodshed and beat her down for 5 rounds. All parties involved seem to want Cyborg's next bout to come against UFC bantamweight champ Amanda Nunes, 15-4 MMA, 8-1 UFC, in a super fight between title holders. The Lioness started the narrative by calling out Cyborg this past year, and momentum for the matchup has been building since. For Perillo, he simply wants to see his student compete in the highest profile matchups available. Given her status as a champion, Perillo said Nunes is the exact type of opponent that fits his desires. I love it, Perillo said. Amanda Nunes, she is obviously a world champion. She was the one who actually called Chris out to begin with. From what I understand, I like it. I love it. At any fight that can draw a lot of attention to Chris, I like. She deserves to be recognized around the world. She was obviously one of the most dominating fighters, not just female, out there. Realistically, the bigger names, the bigger attraction. I would love to see a fight with her and Amanda, and so would I. I really would. I think that's the fight to make. Amanda's a pretty big 35er. Maybe they could meet at 140, although Cyborg, not really healthy for her to move to 140. So we have Namajunas and Jacek coming up soon. Although, for me, I think Joanna Jacek has still unaccepted the fact that she lost the fight. She's still unaccepted the fact that she got finished. And that Rose is very, very dangerous. And I don't know, man. Like, that's a bad thing to me. I don't think that's a good thing for Joanna to underestimate Rose in this degree. I understand she needs to be confident, but I don't know. Okay, John McCarthy believes John Jones points to tainted supplement problem. I watched a quick interview with like some steroid expert dude, performance enhancers. He thinks that John Jones injected testosterone with a tainted needle. And here's why this analysis is at least worth listening to. There are pharmaceutical grade steroids out there that you can get from the doctor, like a company like Upjohn that makes Cypionate. But then there are all of these Chinese knockoffs where they're making all of these steroids in China and different places. Some people make them in their bathtub. I'm not kidding. So there's so many steroids out there that are homemade and just like no-name brand. And if John Jones was stupid enough to take one, which, if it's John Jones, I think he probably is that dumb, that the needle might, or the steroid, I should say, that he was taking might have been contaminated with turinabol, which to me makes some sense. Because of the 17 supplements that they tabled, none were contaminated. So he either took turinabol or he took something else that was tainted with turinabol. McCarthy thinks Jones' problem lies not with banned substances, but with unregulated supplements. One sec. When you're an athlete making the amount of money that John is making, you can't go to the AM/PM and buy something that's in pill form and put in your mouth without going, what the bleep are you doing? Come on, dude. The veteran MMA official and Bellator commentator told Junkie Radio, are you a frickin' Ferrari? You can't do those things. You have to be smart. And I just don't see the letting him off with, it was just a mistake because he done that mistake before. So the title made me believe that maybe John McCarthy was backing him up. Obviously, that's not what the article is about. So he still has to sit in front of USADA. This California State Athletic Commission hit him with a $205,000 fine. They revoked his license. But the coup de grace yet to come. And if John Jones goes up there like Shaggy, it wasn't me. You remember that song? Wasn't me. That's like John Jones' defense. This guy's ridiculous. And from what I understand, I called Howard Jones, the anti-doping attorney, an idiot. And I said the guy's like a complete hack. But the truth is, I looked up his background. He's actually really good. He's one of the best anti-doping lawyers out there, if I'm being completely honest with you. So although my statement in the video, I guess, wasn't inaccurate, although an opinion, he couldn't think of anything to bring to the table. That tells you they have absolutely nothing. There is zero. This lie detector thing is a joke. It's a joke. That is not going to stand. So either USADA is really lenient and they go 1 year, maybe 2 years, then there's 4 years, maybe 6 years. John Jones is an idiot. The people around him aren't helping him. They are hurting him. That's not up for debate. Dana White was right when he said the people around John Jones don't care. They don't care about him enough, to be honest, brutally honest. It's like the yes men. It's like what happened with Rhonda. A lot of people feel that that was her downfall, and I think that might be accurate. Chris Weidman still nursing thumb injury, unsure what's next with Jacare Souza booked. What else do we got here, folks? Sam Alvey, one of my favorites, taking someone's soul, wife's mission to shut up the haters. Let me get a look at what's going on here. We have 5 in the chat, baby. 5 in the chat. Should be 5,000. No, let's go to this. Mirko Cro Cop didn't sit out during his 2-year USADA suspension. So is he eligible for a Bellator fight? This guy left America, and I will guarantee had 4 needles in his ass before the plane touched down in Japan. 110% steroid user all through Pride. And if you go back and you look at like his recent fights, he's just winning everything out in Japan. Like not fighting like, you know, show-stopping like world beaters, but just killing cans or whoever, but just juiced out of his mind. 2.5 years ago, declaring his martial arts time over and done with, Cro Cop is back in a major MMA promotion. But in a way, he never really left the sport. Despite a 2-year suspension for violating the UFC's anti-doping policy under USADA, which is where things get complicated. Monday, Bellator announced Cro Cop will make his debut for the promotion in a heavyweight rematch with former UFC heavyweight Roy Nelson at Bellator 200 in London. But Cro Cop has been in a sort of an MMA exile since November 2015, when he abruptly retired just before news broke that he admitted to using human growth hormone. That's not even just testosterone. That's like the strongest thing you can take. That shit will make you grow another head. This guy's a straight up juice ball. So prior to scheduled UFC bout against Anthony Hamilton, USADA handed down a 2-year suspension for that offense. It made Cro Cop the first fighter to run afoul of the UFC's new anti-doping program. No big shocker there. And eventually led to his release from the UFC, except he was cut from his contract. Maybe his time martial arts weren't all over. He fought for Japan's Risen promotion less than a year later, winning an openweight Grand Prix to close out 2016. He most recently fought for Risen a little more than 2 months ago. He beat some Japanese guy via first round TKO on New Year's Eve. In a sense, Cro Cop never sat out the required 2 years to serve a suspension. So is he eligible to fight for Bellator, which doesn't have a policy with USADA, but typically does adhere to state athletic commission standards, even for overseas events? Interesting. So according to Mike Mazzulli, which seems to regulate Bellator's events, he reached out to Cro Cop when the news of the fight announced, but still considers him in the process of being licensed and therefore subject to immediate drug tests. So here's what I can tell you. Don't expect him to look all that great unless he's just cycling down and the juice is still running through Cro Cop's veins. That guy is like a synthetic Dragor or whatever the heck that guy's name is from Rocky. I'm screwing this right up. Just give me a sec. Boom. There we go. All right, let's see who we got left. We broke the news, folks. NH. Justice. Mystic Mitch still in the place. Jesse Bill Hill. What up, dope? T-Man. I don't know if Chris is here, but welcome. Welcome, everybody. Not going to keep you too much longer. I just wanted to come on and just have a little bit of fun. I got to get to bed. What are you guys talking about in here? NH is getting hungry. It's dinner time. Why might he grow 2 heads? Is he juiced so much? He is juiced up. He is a juice ball. Mystic Mitch says, I'm still here listening. I'm working on something with, for T-Man. Good for you, Mystic Mitch. It's great to see you helping out T-Man, working together, helping him build that channel. I wish him nothing but success. I hope that he does big things on YouTube, and I'm pulling for him. That's the truth. All right, guys. So next up is the MMA hold. Y'all know where that is. I don't got to tell you. Let me check this channel description and make sure I have everything in it. I don't. So I'm going to add Chris's channel and Jesse's channel because don't forget this is Kobe's Corner live stream. This is a completely different one. I'm glad you were here, Justice. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Hit the like button. Make sure you smash that mofo. I'm going to put Chrissy and Jesse's links in the description now. And that's it, man. Just wanted to come on and have a little fun. That's going to do it, folks. Thank you for joining me. Love y'all. Peace.